Penguins, most complete win of the year, I thought. 6-3, impressive over Washington, a team that's lost 4 in a row. Josh Yohe, we saw something this week I didn't think we would see. 2 for the price of 1. Rutherford leaves, Hextall comes in, but so does Brian Burke. You surprised by that, and how does this work? Because they seem to be opposite in many ways.
I'm very surprised by it. The Hextall news was not a shock. He had the pedigree, the resume. He was really the front runner throughout. To include Brian Burke into this is a stunning development. And when you think of Brian Burke hockey, you think of big guys, physical teams, the 2007 Ducks with Chris Pronger. You don't think of the Penguins with their speed and their skill and their talent over the years. It's a complete contradiction. It's oil and water. So his inclusion into the lineup is a fascinating thing. He's a huge personality. I suspect Pittsburgh will like him just on account of his entertainment value. But how he and Hextall get together and communicate is going to be interesting. And the real question is, who has the power between those two?
Right.
Now, Burke said the other day, oh, Hextall's the GM. Okay, we'll see about that because Brian Burke isn't used to playing second fiddle to anyone.
Yeah, I admire the Penguins for this. They're bringing in different voices. And, you know, Jim Rutherford was a different voice. He didn't always agree with ownership. And they were able to, you know, work it out. And I think bringing in Hextall, a guy that can be abrasive at times, I admire it. Not just someone that's going to say toe the company line or be soft-spoken. But bringing in Burke, I agree with Josh. I don't know if there's a deal, like who trumps who. Like, how does that room work? But I'll say this. I like the fact that they're bringing in different voices. It seems like they're going to have every angle covered for a trade, so at least they'll know different sides for a trade before they do it. And again, I like the move. Hextall, I thought is a good fit for what the Penguins are going to be going through here over the next few years.
Well, right, I like all 3 guys in a vacuum. I like Mike Sullivan as a coach, Ron Hextall as a GM, and Brian Burke as a director of hockey ops or whatever that title is that they gave him. I just don't know how they gel and work together. And I think that's a legitimate question. And I think, you know, this idea that has been pushed out there that Brian Burke is here to be a figurehead and to just be a mouthpiece for the organization is in complete contradiction to what Brian Burke has been his entire career. He's an alpha male. He's always been a type A personality, and now he's just going to come up here. He never ties his tie, but he's just going to kick back and relax and do nothing and just do interviews with Jeff and I and Josh. No way. I don't buy that for a single second. I don't. And so that is going to be a tricky spot to navigate your way through is when it comes. They said they're going to play it out this year. But what happens after that? The conversations about Letang, Malkin, and so on, the direction they want to take the team might be different for all 3 guys because I think Sullivan should have a voice in that conversation too, Bob.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I think it will be fascinating to watch. I have a minute left. Real quick, round the horn, Josh. They have goaltending issues, even though Tristan Jarry started today, first time against Washington, won the game. What happens if this is up and down for the next couple of weeks and they're running out of games? Do they make a move, and what do they do with their goaltending?
It would not surprise me at all. And I can tell you this, guys, Casey DeSmith was not dressed today because he was sick. He was scheduled to start this game. That's how little confidence they have in Tristan Jarry right now. Don't be shocked at all if there's a veteran goaltender here within a month if his struggles continue. He was better today, but his play is probably the #1 concern in the organization right now.
Well, it should be. Yeah, it's $3.5 million a year, and the guy outside a 30-game stretch last year, guys, hasn't done anything really. So, I mean, that should be a concern. It's very hard to make in-season goalie trades.
Yeah, I don't know what Brian Burke has thought. You know, he said he wants some time to evaluate his goalie situation. And they said that Jarry was a first-round, you know, he's a big-time starting talent. Not that he's one of the best in the league, but that he's a starting talent. I think they might give him some time.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see exactly, you know, what they do. They're trying to win now, but they're also trying to navigate later. That's a hard road to travel. We'll talk more about that in the weeks ahead. When we come back, though, we're going to talk about Pirate Baseball. It opens tomorrow. Is anyone excited about it? We'll talk about that and the $40 million a year going to Trevor Bauer. That's next, right here on KDKA-TV.